Yo, what's up, ladies? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. So today we're going to be talking about the cons of being a sexy, attractive woman. You see, we might think that a lot of people think that being attractive is awesome. And mind you, it is. But at the same time, it has its cons to the point that it could be so negative that it might override the good, depending on the person, right? And something in life is that the grass is always greener on the other side. Always greener on the other side. Just keep that in mind, all right? So with that being said, I'm not saying that being attractive is bad. I love attractive women, okay? Don't ever forget that, all right? What I'm saying is that being attractive is not as rosy as we all might think. Just because we see smiles doesn't mean they're full on the inside, all right? A lot of the times, most of the times you see empty smiles from people. Have you ever smiled at someone, but deep down you're dying? That's what I'm talking about. Most people aren't happy, and that's the sad truth. It's not that I'm being pessimistic, but that's the truth. So being attractive is not equivalent to being happy, and that's the problem, especially for attractive people, that they notice they're getting attention, and somehow they're still empty. That's very frustrating. So I'm gonna give you guys 5 reasons why it's not as good as we might think being attractive, and also a sixth one, a bonus one, which you guys might like. So the first one is that you're never gonna get real feedback. A lot of the times, learning how to interact with people and being social, you need feedback. You need honest feedback. If you're, for example, guys who learn how to pick up women, and I teach them this, the guys that are attractive, the attractive men, they're not as social. They're not very social. They're very boring. They're very bland, and that's because they're attractive. They already have the attention that they were looking for, so they don't really need to work on their personality because they already have the results they want. As opposed to a guy like me who's average looking. Mind you, I'm average looking. You see, you guys might think I'm hot. Like, I read the comments, but in reality, I'm a very average looking person. This is just what YouTube does to you. YouTube makes you look more attractive. You see, I noticed because I've been with myself my whole life. I know how women should treat me. I'm an average looking person, all right? And plus, I gotta keep telling myself that because sometimes you let what people tell you consume you, all right? Even though it's nice, I really appreciate it. But for my own personal sanity, I try not to really look into that. I try to focus more on what people tell me about my message. But generally speaking, though, when you are an extremely attractive person, the feedback you get is kind of twisted. Because you're attractive, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. Because you're attractive, you're going to be funnier than you really are. And so what tends to happen, that's why you have a lot of people who think they're funny, but they're really not. You know those people who are just not funny, but they somehow just keep making fucking jokes. The reason why they keep saying those stupid jokes is because people in their lives have encouraged that because they started laughing at the jokes that are not that funny. So as a result, when they go to another social circle, they're going to say those jokes and people are not going to find them funny. I know a couple people like that. That might be me. Who knows? But generally speaking, though, those people just didn't get the right feedback. For example, when I teach guys, I tell women that when you're going to reject a guy, reject them honestly. Reject them how you're really going to reject them. Why? Because it's important for guys to get the real social feedback that's unfiltered without them trying to make them feel better. It's important because that feedback is going to show them what they're doing wrong. The problem is that if you're an attractive guy, you're never going to get that feedback because the feedback you're getting is being diluted by your looks. So they may tell you that you're doing it wrong, but they're not going to tell you because they may say, you know what, I'll forgive them because they're attractive. As opposed to a guy who's average or unattractive, you have no leeway to fuck up, like in my case. So as a result, you have to work on your skill set. It's kind of like a basketball player. The shorter basketball players are the most skilled. The bigger basketball players are the ones that are less skilled. Why? Because the shorter basketball players have to work on their skill sets. So being an attractive woman, you never really get the feedback. So even though if you try to learn how to be more social, you're not really going to know until you get older. Because that's when you get the real feedback. And that's where we're going to get to the next point, which is you getting too much attention. No, not the next point, but the next point, okay? You're getting too much attention. Too much attention is good. You see, nothing bad with getting attention. Too much attention is not good, particularly the attention that you don't want. Especially when you're an extremely attractive woman. As you guys saw in my previous video, I kept getting distracted by sexy ass women. And the reason is because when you're an attractive woman, you're gonna get noticed everywhere you go. And sometimes you don't want to get noticed. Sometimes you want to be left the fuck alone. But the problem, because you're so attractive, you're never going to be left alone. Even when you say hi to a guy, you say hi to a guy, what's the guy think? Oh man, look at her, she said hi to me. She wants to suck my dick. You know, you like a comment, and he's gonna say like, yo, look at her, man. She's commenting on my status. She wants to suck my dick. You know, every guy wants to have sex with you, and you know that. So you saw the problem. So you're getting too much attention sexually. So it's very difficult for people to look through that. I'm telling you because that's how I am too. You know, okay, that's how I used to be. I matured a little bit, right? I'm a little bit matured. But generally speaking, though, when the woman is attractive and you just in that mindset, it's very difficult for you to talk to the person. You see? And so that's one of the things that you guys might notice when you're an extremely attractive woman. You're getting too much attention based on that. And guys say, oh, you know, I thought you wanted attention. Not that you're getting attention. You're mad at that. No, the problem is that you're just getting too much attention. You're getting more than you asked for. So you want to take a step back, but the problem is that people are going to take that and get offended by it, you see? And so that's an issue. That's like celebrities. That's why I wouldn't want to be a celebrity, because I like my privacy. You guys might think I'm social, but I'm a very introverted person. I just learned how to develop my extroverted personality. And so when you're getting too much attention, it's not good for you. You see, it's not good for you because people are judging you more. You feel people's eye on you, and you get self-conscious. And again, being a beautiful woman doesn't mean you're beautiful, because you're a beautiful woman, that you're being judged by other beautiful women. So you're in the same boat where you're not enough. So you see other beautiful women, because when you're a beautiful woman, you have more beautiful friends. So the result, you're still average in your social circle, and that's what really matters, your social circle. Not people around you, but people who are around you. So you might, to the average person, you might be a 10, but to your social circle, you're an 8, and you feel inadequate as a result of it. It's one of those things, you see. Number 3, you get a real letdown once you get older. You see, it's one thing being an average looking woman and then getting older and then, you know, going from here to here. It's one thing to be known as an extremely attractive woman, going from here and then going all the way here. The downfall is a lot bigger. This is what I feel bad for female celebrities, that you get to see how they age throughout their lives, and they sense that, especially the ones that were extremely beautiful. You see, this is the thing. Rosie O'Donnell doesn't give a fuck that she's getting older. She's always looked the way she looked. But someone like Kim Kardashian, she's gonna struggle getting older. She's gonna struggle big time. Why? Because she allowed herself to be based on how she looks. She sold herself based on her looks. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that because of that, then as you get older, people are going to say, damn, I remember how she used to be, because you highlighted it. You made it known to everyone that was important to you. I'm not saying there's something bad. What I'm saying, though, is that as you get older, that's what's going to happen. Is you're going to struggle a lot more getting older, because you put so much emphasis on your beauty and on your looks and on your youth. Remember, when you get older, you're going to get old. You see, people think, especially the young lady, you know, how beautiful you guys might look. Lord in heaven. You're going to get older. You see. Now, what happens when you get older? It's not that it's not all about the skin. It's not all about like wrinkles. It's about gravity. When you get older, gravity, literally your face gets like this, and so your skin gets like more wrinkly. That's what happens. It's gravity. Gravity does that to you. This, you're gonna start getting the double chin, like the little double chin. You're gonna start getting it because it's fucking gravity. You see, that's what happens. Your skin gets looser, and your cells keep regenerating, and there's a point where they get slower. Your skin and the thing is, like, your ears and your nose and your ears get bigger. They get bigger, like they never stop growing. So you're gonna have a big ass nose and a big ass ears, and so what you have now is gonna get bigger. And so that the one thing that always looks good are boobs. I don't give a fuck. You know, if you maintain yourself, boobs always look good. But nevertheless, though, that's what happens. And so you are going to get older. And so that's a big letdown when you're extremely beautiful, because everyone knew you like that. You know? Number 4, you get things easily and you can't really test your true skills. When you're a younger woman, you never really have to face the challenge of having to, how can I say this? Of having to be the underdog. You see, you're really attractive, so you don't really, so you never really work as much as opposed to a person who doesn't get noticed as much. You see, and so they have to work extra to get noticed. Like, you have to overcompensate. And that's something similar that happens when you are, for example, it's kind of like when you're not privileged. When you're not privileged and you're actually extremely determined, what tends to happen is that you overcompensate, and you actually get your skill level to a point that it's almost magical. The reason why is because you were the underdog. The problem is that when you're extremely attractive, what tends to happen is that you get opportunities you never earned. You see, people treat you much better. You get respect you didn't earn simply because of your looks. So you have this unhealthy sense of entitlement. And I'm not saying everyone, but that's what tends to happen. So you never really get to see how skilled you really are, how competent you really are, because you never really got that feedback. You were just getting feedback based on your looks, not in your actual skill set. And that's something that's a fallacy that we have in the society that we live in today. But appearances are important. Appearances matter a lot. To the human brain, it's not about reality, but more about perception. Reality is that in the quantum world, particles are going in and out of existence. Reality that we're perceiving doesn't reflect that. On the macro level, it looks like everything's permanent. But reality is that things are always impermanent, going in and out of existence. That's what we're talking about. So we never really get to see reality, especially when you're an extremely beautiful woman in a society based on how you look. You never get the feedback. Now the thing is that as you get older, there's gonna be that moment where everything switches, and suddenly you seen that dip. You're gonna say, "Damn, why are people treating me differently?" And you don't even notice because you're saying to yourself, "I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything that I was doing in the past." It's not what you're doing, but it's what you're losing. You're saying that's very hard to face, especially when you don't know how to fix it. The fifth one, having to reject people on a consistent basis. And this is something that's very difficult, especially when, for example, like with guys that I teach, right? Guys who get good with women, they notice one thing, which is they feel awkward saying no to girls. Like they feel very awkward with that, and so saying no to people is not easy, man. I'm telling you, it's kind of like being rich. When you get rich, people are gonna want your money. You're gonna have new cousins. You're gonna have people who are gonna want something from you. They're gonna want your time or your money. And so saying no is very difficult. And saying no is actually a sign of confidence. And people are going to try to guilt you. So if you're not used to saying no, especially for a woman, especially for someone who never had attention from people, that you're going to struggle with that. And so as a woman, you have to deal with that all the time. You don't know when you're going to get hit on. You don't know when you're going to have to reject guys. And so it's awkward as fuck, man. And so that's why women elect to not text a guy back, because they don't want to deal with the awkwardness. And so that's something that it's a real toll on a person, having to say no to people, having to say no to guys. And they begin to see guys as pests, like regular guys who are just always trying to hit on them. And they're always on the defensive. And especially if you're in the city and I'm around, you know, seriously though, but like it's very hard, man. Like you guys might think like being attractive is fun, but like it has its downfalls, you know. Like being a celebrity, you're gonna have to say no to people. Always want them asking you to be on the podcast, asking you to be on a show, asking you to get interviewed. You're gonna have to say no a lot, and saying no sucks to people, you know, because you have to see the disappointed face and all that sort of stuff. So it's not as fun as it looks. All right. So that's the fifth one. Now the sixth one is having to deal with me. I can promise you, man, if you're an extremely attractive girl and I see you walking down the street and I have free time and I'm not on my way to do work, I'm approaching you. If the circumstances are right, I'm approaching your ass. That's the sixth one. Nah, it's a joke, man. It's a joke. So yeah, like this is the thing though, is that we think the grass is always greener on the other side. We think that if we become attractive, we're going to be happy. But the truth is that you're going to have new problems. You're going to have new problems because you're going to be judging yourself based on other attractive people. And once again, you're not going to be enough. You're either not going to be enough in looks, or you're either not going to be enough in age. You're either not going to be enough in terms of business skills. You're always going to find something that you lack. Now, mind you, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're using that to value your self-worth rather than using that as to grow as an individual and as a professional, you're going to fall in the same trap of having superficial confidence and not based on reality, but based on the feedback you're getting. You see, and that's an issue, man. Beautiful women, like they're beautiful, and I appreciate them. But if you're not aware of the downfall when you get older, you're gonna struggle. And you're gonna go back to my channel. It's a big thing, man, and that's why I see like some of the most beautiful women I met, like the ones that were just sadly were some of the most emptiest women on the inside. They had nothing to offer but their beauty, man. And they were beautiful, man, but they had nothing else to offer, man. They had nothing else to talk about, you know. Like And what's ironic is that the ones that like, to be honest with you, I really prefer the average hot girl. No, the average looking hot girl. For example, like you have the really fucking hot girl. You know, like the tens. You know, sorry for using number system. And I know you guys don't like it, but you know, just deal with it for now, right? Like the really hot ones, right? I like those, but they're kind of empty, man. It's very few of them. There's some of them that actually have a personality, but they're kind of empty. And I hate to use that stereotype. It's actually kind of true. The ones I really like, though, are the ones that don't know they're hot. You know, the ones that you see them walking down the street and you say, but then you actually see them, and when you're with them, you're like, oh, damn. Oh my God, wait a minute. I didn't know you were this hot. Like, I didn't know you were this hot. Wait a minute. Right? It's kind of like they don't even know how hot they really are. Like the average hot. You know, like the non-pretentious hot, to the point that she just looks like a normal person, or even tries to hide how hot she is. Like those are the ones that surprise the ones, like the normal average looking hotness. I love those because it's natural. It has imperfection. You see, like when you're too much with a hot girl, like an extremely hot girl, like yeah, she's hot, but like you want the variety. Like you want the ones that are you know, good, but at the same time who have different qualities to them. And again, I'm not saying that hot girls are empty, but I'm saying that when you're hot, like you already have what most people need to work on, which is the attention. So you really don't want to work on nothing else because you're really having the attention. So why do you need to work on this or that? You really have the attention, so you have no more free time. Like, how can I say, like when you're just an average looking girl, you don't focus on your looks, you actually work on other things. You work on becoming smarter, reading, and all that sort of stuff. But when you have all of the attention you need, all the money, you guys are looking for your attention, that's gonna be so addictive that you're just gonna focus on short term. You're not gonna focus on long term. You know. It's something, yeah. It's something. Again, look, I see this often. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm always with hot girls. I'm just saying, though, I see it. I observe it. It's something that's sad. It really is sad because I kind of say it's like I feel for them. You know, like they want to be accepted. You know, they wanna be liked, but they don't know what's really. You know, they don't know what's really happening, and I feel bad for them, you know. I love them, right? But I feel bad for them, you know. And I'm hoping that if you are watching this, to realize that, you know, like there's more to you. Like, look, I appreciate it, but there's more to you. You see, and you're gonna have to start working on other things on you to improve yourself, and that also includes all the women who are extremely attractive. I've seen you women, you know. It also goes to you. Anyways, it's Alex from mindforattraction.org. The thing's gonna die. I hope you guys have a good day, and bye-bye.